after 60. Why women call fit older men intimidating, and what they really mean. When a mature, physically fit man walks into a room and a woman whispers, "He's intimidating," what does that really mean? Intimidating is the word women choose when a man's physical presence generates an immediate shift in power dynamics they weren't psychologically prepared to encounter. A fit older man activates a unique form of attraction, one that interweaves capability, resource consciousness, and irrefutable proof that he's conquered the art of delayed gratification. But this isn't criticism. It's a subconscious admission of respect, longing, and internal reflection. Hi, welcome back to my channel. It's Vernon again. And in today's video, we're going to decode what women truly mean when they use that word. If you're a man over 60 who's rebuilding confidence, discipline, or purpose, hit like, subscribe to this channel, and stay till the end. You'll never hear that word the same way again. Let me take you through something I've learned, not from books alone, but from decades of living, listening, and becoming the kind of man who understands silence as deeply as speech. Let's begin. 1. Intimidating means beyond my reach. When a woman says, "You're intimidating," she isn't delivering criticism, she's making a confession. You've arrived at a level of tranquility and self-possession that she uses as a measuring stick for herself. She perceives the distance between your centeredness and her own uncertainty. You don't pursue validation, you embody it. As Friedrich Nietzsche observed, the higher we soar, the smaller we appear to those who cannot fly. And so, she labels you intimidating because calling it admiration would expose too much vulnerability. She sees in you a kind of quiet authority that doesn't need to announce itself. Your posture speaks. Your silence resonates. The way you move through space carries intention, not performance. This creates discomfort not because you're threatening, but because you mirror back to her what she may feel is missing in her own life, that unwavering commitment to self. When she says intimidating, what she's really saying is, "I don't know if I'm ready to rise to the standard you represent." That's not your burden to soften. That's her invitation to grow. But let's go deeper, because this isn't just about perception, it's about what created that perception in the first place. 2. Attraction springs from discipline, not decoration. A younger man adorns himself sports cars, designer labels, sculpted abs for Instagram. A mature man constructs himself. He trains when no audience is watching. He moves with silent conviction, not for applause, but for integrity. That physique isn't vanity, it's testimony. Proof that he's honored promises to himself. Women recognize this instantly, even if they can't articulate it. They see a man in his 50s or 60s who hasn't surrendered to societal expectations of decline. They see someone who chose effort over ease, consistency over comfort. And that choice, repeated day after day, year after year, creates a magnetism that youthful energy alone cannot manufacture. Because youth can be borrowed, bought, or faked. But discipline must be earned. Every rep, every early morning, every moment of self-restraint compounds into something visible. A body that tells a story of mastery. Aristotle wrote, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Discipline doesn't announce itself. It's the understated signature of genuine power. And this mastery does something unexpected. It exposes a truth about the younger generation that makes them deeply uncomfortable. 3. Fit older men reveal the fragility of youth's energy. My wife once remarked, half smiling over morning coffee, "You make 20-year-olds nervous not because you're stronger, but because you last longer." And she was absolutely right. Youth ignites fast. Maturity burns steady. The young rely on explosive bursts of energy. The older man relies on rhythm. He doesn't just work out, he sleeps well, eats well, recovers well. He understands sustainability, not spectacle. When a 5-5-year-old outruns a 2-5-year-old in the final miles of a trail, it isn't about muscle mass. It's a message written in sweat and breath. I was built from habits, not hype. Youth operates on adrenaline and bravado. Age operates on discipline and foresight. In the words of John Ruskin, endurance is nobler than strength and patience than beauty. This is why fit older men unsettle younger generations. They represent the inconvenient truth that intensity without consistency is just noise, that showing up once doesn't matter if you can't show up again tomorrow, and the day after, and the year after that. Have you ever noticed how real strength doesn't compete, it just endures? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your story might inspire another man to stay consistent. The world celebrates youth's explosiveness, but wise women recognize the quiet power of a man who doesn't burn out. And that recognition shows up as something they call intimidating. 4. Women are drawn to self-control, not chaos. True attraction doesn't emerge from wildness. It emerges from restraint. Women observe how a man handles stress, silence, and disagreement. If he listens without losing composure, he doubles his influence. Because control is masculine music. It vibrates deeper than charm. The man who can remain still while the world shakes, that's who she feels safest around. Not the man who reacts to every provocation. Not the one who needs to prove his strength through volume or aggression, but the one who possesses such inner stability that external chaos cannot shake his foundation. Self-command is the main elegance. This is the essence of mature masculine appeal. A fit older man has learned through decades of experience that emotional regulation is more powerful than emotional expression. He's discovered that the ability to pause, to breathe, to choose his response rather than react instinctively, this is what separates boys from men. Women instinctively recognize this quality because it signals safety. Not physical safety alone, but emotional and psychological safety. They know that a man who controls himself can be trusted in crisis, relied upon in uncertainty, and counted on when life inevitably delivers its challenges. This kind of self-mastery becomes especially visible in his physical discipline. The body is simply the most obvious evidence of a deeper internal structure. So when she calls you intimidating, part of what she's responding to is this unshakable center you've cultivated. And it transitions us perfectly into the next insight. 5. A youthful body is an act of rebellion. Society instructs older men to surrender to decay, to age quietly, to fade politely into irrelevance. But the disciplined man resists. His body is a quiet rebellion, sculpted not for ego, but for defiance. Each muscle is a line of poetry written against time. He doesn't fight age, he negotiates with it. And that negotiation keeps him alive in ways youth can't comprehend. His discipline whispers, "I may grow old, but I will not grow ordinary." Most men accept the narrative that after 50, the body's decline is inevitable and absolute. They stop training, stop challenging themselves, stop believing that transformation is possible. They wear their softness as a badge of earned rest, as if decades of life entitle them to decades of decay. But the fit older man rejects this entirely. Not out of vanity, though he certainly enjoys looking good. He rejects it because he understands something profound. The body is the most honest expression of how you live. It reflects your choices, your priorities, your relationship with discomfort and growth. When a 60-year-old man maintains the physicality of someone 20 years younger, he's making a statement that reverberates beyond the gym. He's declaring that age is not an excuse, that time is not an enemy, that the years can add wisdom without subtracting vitality. And for women observing this, especially women who may have internalized their own limitations around aging, this becomes deeply confronting. Because if he can defy expectations, what does that say about her own surrender to them? 6. He challenges age stereotypes. My sister once told me during a family gathering, "You make people uncomfortable because you refuse to fade." And that's exactly it. Most men let the world define what 60 looks like. But when you move with strength, speak with clarity, and live with rhythm, you rewrite the image. Discipline doesn't expire, it compounds. Like interest, you don't slow down to fit expectations, you redefine them. As Alexis Carrel wrote, "Man cannot remake himself without suffering, for he is both the marble and the sculptor." The cultural script for older men is clear. Retire, relax, recede, become background, make space for youth, accept your diminished role gracefully. But when a man refuses this script, when he continues to evolve, to challenge himself, to present as vital and purposeful, it creates cognitive dissonance in observers. People have mental categories, and you're supposed to stay in yours. A fit, sharp, purposeful man in his 60s doesn't fit the category. He breaks the frame, and frame breaking always generates discomfort in others, even as it generates respect. Women, especially, feel this tension, because if a man can remain this disciplined, this attractive, this present in his older years, it challenges every assumption about aging and desirability. It forces a recalibration, and recalibration, while necessary for growth, is rarely comfortable in the moment. Which brings us to the next dimension of what intimidating really signals. 7. Commitment signals. Reliability. Commitment isn't just romantic, it's the backbone of masculine credibility. A man who keeps his word to his health, his time, his purpose, becomes trustworthy in everything else. Women sense that reliability as safety. They're not drawn to your muscles, they're drawn to your consistency. And that, my friend, is the most attractive quality in the world. When a woman sees a man who's maintained his fitness over decades, she's not just seeing aesthetics. She's seeing evidence of character. She's witnessing proof that this man makes commitments and honors them, even when they're difficult, even when no one's watching, even when the results take years to materialize. This is radically different from the commitment style of youth. Young men make promises easily and break them just as easily. They commit in the moment, driven by emotion or impulse. But mature commitment is different. It's measured, intentional, and durable. It survives boredom. It persists through plateaus. It continues even when the initial motivation fades. Physical discipline becomes a proxy for every other form of reliability. If he's disciplined with his body, he's likely disciplined with his finances. If he's consistent in his training, he's probably consistent in his word. If he's patient with his fitness goals, he'll be patient with relationship challenges. Women intuitively understand this connection. They read the body as a text that tells them about the man's deeper character structure. So when they say intimidating, part of what they're processing is this recognition. This is a man who doesn't quit. And that level of steadfastness can feel overwhelming to someone who hasn't cultivated it in herself. 8. Consistency creates total attraction. Some men are disciplined in fragments: work, money, or gym. But the magnetic man aligns everything: body, speech, finances, emotions. His tone matches his values. His walk matches his words. He doesn't act disciplined, he is discipline. That alignment creates coherence, and coherence is irresistible. To borrow the words of Seneca, harmony between thought and deed is the highest virtue. This is what separates superficial discipline from integrated discipline. Anyone can perform discipline in one domain. The truly developed man embodies it across all domains simultaneously. Women have an almost supernatural ability to detect incongruence. They notice when a man's words don't match his actions, when his public persona contradicts his private behavior, when he's disciplined in visible areas but chaotic in hidden ones. And they're repelled by it, even if they can't articulate why. But when they encounter a man whose entire life reflects a singular commitment to excellence, to growth, to integrity, this creates a magnetic pull that transcends physical attraction. It's the difference between being impressed by someone and being inspired by them. Impression is superficial. Inspiration reaches the soul. The fit older man, who's also emotionally regulated, financially stable, intellectually curious, and relationally mature, he represents a complete package that's exceptionally rare. Most men optimize one or two areas and neglect the rest. But the man who's done the full work, who's integrated discipline into every aspect of his existence, becomes a walking embodiment of what's possible. And for a woman, encountering this level of integration can feel simultaneously thrilling and terrifying. Thrilling because she recognizes excellence, terrifying because it challenges her to pursue her own. 9. Intimidating equals attraction plus fear. It's fascination blended with uncertainty. She's drawn to your composure, but uneasy about her place in your orbit. You don't perform. You exist fully, and that's enough to awaken every hidden insecurity. Your silence holds more gravity than a boy's charm ever could. Because real strength isn't loud, it's gravitational. Think about what intimidation actually is psychologically. It's the simultaneous experience of attraction and inadequacy. She's attracted to what you represent, but she questions whether she measures up to it. She wants to be closer to you, but she fears that proximity will expose her own lack of development. This is why intimidating is such a revealing word. It's not really about you, it's about her internal conflict. You've become a mirror that reflects back both possibility and current limitation. You represent what could be achieved through discipline, and simultaneously highlight what hasn't been achieved through its absence. For younger women especially, this creates a unique tension. They're accustomed to being the objects of pursuit, the ones who hold the power in romantic dynamics. But in the presence of a truly developed older man, that power structure inverts. Suddenly, they're the ones who feel they need to prove themselves worthy. They're the ones wondering if they're interesting enough, deep enough, developed enough to hold your attention. Your silence amplifies this effect because it doesn't give them easy feedback. A younger man will flood them with validation, compliments, obvious interest. But you're observing, discerning, deciding. You're not easily impressed because you've seen too much to be dazzled by surface qualities. This measured response, this refusal to be immediately captivated, creates a vacuum of uncertainty that their minds rush to fill. And in that rushing, they label the experience intimidating. 10. Her hesitation is hidden admiration. When she says you're intimidating, it's a disguised compliment. You don't bend to make her comfortable. You stay truthful, clear, and grounded. Your no is firmer than her applause. Self-respect, boundaries, and calm. That's the new definition of masculine allure. At this level, Being called intimidating isn't rejection, it's recognition, a medal for mastering yourself. Think about the men who never get called intimidating. They're the ones who constantly adjust themselves to accommodate others' comfort. They soften their opinions, dim their presence, apologize for their space. They're so eager to be liked that they sacrifice being respected. But you've moved beyond the need for universal approval. You've learned that trying to make everyone comfortable is a form of self-betrayal. You understand that your purpose isn't to be palatable, but to be authentic. This doesn't mean you're harsh or inconsiderate. It means you're honest and boundaried. Women who call you intimidating are often women who aren't accustomed to boundaries. They're used to men who'll compromise their standards, adjust their schedules, modify their lives to accommodate female preferences. But you won't, not because you're inflexible, but because you've built a life that works, and you're selective about what and who you allow to disrupt that structure. This selectivity is incredibly attractive to mature women and intimidating to immature ones. Mature women recognize it as standards. Immature women experience it as rejection. But either way, it's evidence that you've done the work. You've become the kind of man who doesn't need anyone, which paradoxically makes you the kind of man everyone wants. By bow, you've known that intimidating isn't about fear. It's the echo of admiration, spoken by someone not yet ready to rise to your frequency. So don't apologize for your presence, refine it. Don't shrink for comfort, grow for clarity. As Carl Jung said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. You've earned that word. It means you're visible, not because you shout, but because you've become the kind of man who no longer needs to. When a woman calls you intimidating, understand what she's really saying. You've built what's rare. You kept discipline when others chose comfort. You raised your standards when the world told you to settle. You invested in yourself when it would have been easier to drift. A strong, centered older man doesn't intimidate because he's harsh, but because he reflects what others avoided. The road not taken, the effort not made, the potential left behind. You remind them that age is no excuse and time is no threat. Every day, you choose growth over ease. So wear that word with quiet pride. It means you've become what many only dream of, proof that it's never too late to be extraordinary. Have you ever been called intimidating? How did you respond? And what did you learn from it? Drop your story in the comments below. Your experience might be exactly what another man needs to hear today. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss insights on building the kind of presence that speaks without words. And I'm Vernon. Thanks for watching my video till now. See you in the next time.